graft charges 7.4 billion worth, and we're joined by David Mudoka, who has been following this particular case, to give us an update, a recap of what was said in the anti-corruption court, and of course the context. Over to you, David.
Good morning, Trix, and indeed we are coming to you live from the Milimani Law Courts, where just a few minutes ago freedom has literally come for Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua and 9 other accused persons in a 7.4 billion shilling graft case that had been prosecuted by the Director of Public Prosecutions. But of course, following that application to formally withdraw the case yesterday by the office of the DPP, today Senior Principal Magistrate Victor Wakumile has granted, that is the DPP as well as the accused, their request to have the case dropped. And so just before I get into the details of that case, among the 9 co-accused is Nyeri Senator Wahome Wamatinga, who joins me live just to have a word or two with him. Karibu sana, Senator. How do you feel now that it's been almost 2 years of worrying and being on tenterhooks and being in courts and out of courts? How do you feel now that you and 9 other people mentioned in that case are free?
Indeed, it is quite a mixed feeling, one of relief and happiness, but at the same time also feeling quite sad that something like this could happen in the 21st century of a democratic country like ours, where we have rigorous systems, we have judiciary systems, we have police systems that are well trained and fast with investigation processes. And the fact that we had been prosecuted or brought to court because somebody was anticipating that in future they will get some evidence, it is not only unconstitutional but actually quite unfair. What even makes the matter worse is that we were brought to court because of our political stand. We know that the current deputy president was one of the people who really fought so hard for the Hustler government, so like I did in Nyeri County. And we know that the fact that we were brought in court was actually meant to embarrass us, humiliate us, and even portray us as people who are corrupt and incapable of being elected. I'm happy that the courts have said, yes, you cannot take anybody before court in that special that you'll get some evidence. I'm saddened by the fact that the prosecution did actually agree that they worked under immense pressure to bring us in court, regardless whether there was evidence or not. This is something that we want to promise Kenyans moving forward. It should never happen to anybody. The weaponization of the Kenyan constitutional bodies like the DPP, like the DCI, like the KRA, like the ACC should never happen again. People, Kenyans, need not fear anymore moving forward that they can be taken to court because of their political stand. We have put it clear now. President has stated, and we continue to state that we want every Kenyan to feel free, regardless of what they stand for, regardless of their political affiliation. And therefore, we would want, and I, as a member of parliament, I'll make sure that I take a bill before the House that will ensure that we have a third hazard has been recommended by the judge that will make sure that such incidences will be preempted long before even they are taken in court, because we end up wasting taxpayers' money, we end up wasting a lot of resources, we end up with a lot of backlogs in the courts with cases that are politically motivated, as this case that has been before us. But I'm happy that the judge and the DPP finally came to their senses, and so the importance of dropping such charges. The acceptance of the officer who was leading the investigation that actually he had not even completed. What he left out is to say that there were no charge sheets. We have never been given evidence statements from the witnesses. That means that it is, from the word go, it was illegal. This is something that we are going to take up. We are going to push it further because we would not want it to happen to any other Kenyan. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your remarks. Asante sana, Senator, and of course, thank you so much for granting us an interview. Indeed, that is Nyeri Senator Wahome Wamatinga, who was part of the accused persons in this entire case, just telling his side of the story. And of course, as you have heard, indeed, in his ruling, the senior principal magistrate spoke of a number of issues and even made some recommendations that come against the backdrop of the dropped case against Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. Indeed, among the recommendations is the establishment of a pre-trial chamber that will definitely ensure that a case, even before it gets to the judge or the magistrate, meets the threshold of being pursued and, of course, other recommendations that have been highlighted by the senator, who says now he's going to even enter into parliament and make some recommendations and even go on to institute some measures and laws in ensuring that persons who claim to be targeted politically do not end up in courts and do not spend time even behind bars illegally. And so, of course, that is a recap of what has been taking place here at the Milimani Anti-Corruption Court all morning, of course. And as it stands now, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua is a free man with regards to the 7.4 billion shilling graft case. But of course, the investigators and the judge have not shut the door on further investigations. And just to highlight, the key word in this is that